Alright, what is going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here with a special vlog. The reason I'm making this vlog is a follow-up to an announcement that I made last week in my weekend preview video. That, quite honestly, I wasn't planning on making this announcement. It wasn't good news, okay? A lot of people were confused. A lot of people wanted elaboration. A lot of people were supportive, which is great. But what I want to do is make a video just on this subject while I have a few minutes tonight, so that it's out there, so that the word will now be spread formally in a video that's not the weekend preview or something else. It's a video all into itself about what's going on right now with myself and my business. I do have some good news in regards to some stuff going on right now. And I want to give you periodic updates on what's going on, because as you know, I've been on YouTube for 8 years. And I've been doing this as a job since late 2010, early 2011. It's arguable because really I wasn't signed with Machinima as a partner channel or anything like that until early 2011. And so there's an 8-year legacy on YouTube. And by the way, more videos than probably anyone has uploaded to YouTube, besides maybe someone who uploads 5-second clips and spams them like a crazy moron. More significant videos, more videos with actual content. I'm probably the most prolific YouTuber on the entire internet. Even though there's other people that have been around as long as me, no one's put out as much hourly long content as I have in the past 8 years. So I've shared my life with you guys and gals for 8 freaking years, okay? And let me tell you, there were a lot of sacrifices along the way. My lifestyle completely changed when I started doing this as a job. I didn't have a lot of free time anymore to go do stuff with friends and things like that. You know, and I think that actually kind of led to the falling apart of a lot of friendships and stuff that I had. Not just people who've been on camera with me, but other people as well. Friendships that I had back home and stuff that just kind of dwindled and fell apart as I made YouTube kind of my living. Because I needed to sacrifice a lot, you know, putting in so many hours of gaming and covering all the new releases. And even to this day, I still don't think people realize how little of any kind of a social life or anything I really have, because YouTube is my job and this is me and me alone. There's no other person helping me with this. There's no one else who I hire to do video editing. There's no one who uploads this stuff for me. There's no one who monitors my social media. I'm not a team of people like a lot of these other successful gaming YouTube channels, right, that are popping up daily now, and they're all becoming super popular. It's a team of guys, young guys who are all working together, right? I don't have that. I've always been me, myself, and I, okay? And even today, you know, I wake up, I usually, you know, either shower or whatever I need to do in the morning to refresh myself, maybe have a drink or a bite to eat, jump right into work, streaming and working for 3 to 4 hours straight, well, not really taking a break, but then setting up all the uploads and everything, which takes a while, then taking a break to have dinner and do chores around the house within a 1 to 2 hour time frame, so I could rush back to either work on an edited video or work on more streaming and more gameplay for another, you know, 2 to 3 hours, if not longer than that. The edited videos usually take around 4 hours minimum. And then monitoring stuff all night as stuff uploads and playlist management and stuff like that. I really don't have a lot of free time to myself, maybe an hour or two a day where I actually just sit down with my girlfriend and maybe we watch TV or talk or do whatever, you know. Everything else is the business, and it always has been like that. And it's funny because people say, oh, Phil does not do all this stuff that other YouTubers do. Yeah, because I can't, because I'm one man. I don't have a team of people working for me. I never made enough money to hire anyone to work for me to make my stuff big and popular like these other big guys did, right? All the people with high production values, these giant comedy skits, these highly edited videos with scripted comedy over stuff. I can't do that. I couldn't do that. It's not possible because I'm one man, okay? So all that being said, I made an announcement last week that unfortunately my business is not in a good position right now, okay? What happened was, as you know, last year, I was actually in a good position. It looked like I had kind of plateaued. I was right here all of last year, 2015, and all of a sudden, false copyright strikes hit my channels. Not just DSP Gaming, but also this channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, forcing me to remove pretty much every pre-stream video ever because they found a loophole in YouTube system where they could flag artwork, which is bullshit. I had legal permission to use any artwork that was ever used in any of my videos, but they abused the system and filed false copyright claims against me. And YouTube basically is not like the American court system where you're innocent until proven guilty. Instead, they just, you're guilty until you prove that you're innocent, which is ridiculous. So in order to protect my business, I had to delete every pre-stream video I'd ever done up to that point that used fan art, resulting in the millions of views dropping off of my channels. And my channels, literally overnight, last summer, being removed from the YouTube search system. So when you went to search for a new playthrough or a new thing, it wouldn't come up. I would not come up. Or if I came up, I would be on, like, instead of being page 2 or 3 or maybe even page 1 like I used to be, because I'm an 8-year YouTuber, now I'm on page 32. So no one will ever see my videos in YouTube search. And my business went from plateauing to being pretty good and being able to pay my bills to into the toilet. Now, since then, a lot's changed. This year, I adopted a lot of changes and things to my business to try to make things better. Number one, DSP Gaming is now just pure gameplay. There's no other content on there, just gameplay. Streaming, playthrough videos, period. That's it. Here, vlogging is all my vlogging. All of my informative vlogging videos are right here on the King of Hate Vlogs. And you've seen I've expanded to things like reacting to certain news stories and things like that that normally I wouldn't do, while all my other series are continuing, like DSP Tries It and stuff like that. But then KO Gaming, my new channel, where I was doing edited content, right? Right now, it's pretty much a great place to do highly edited game reviews and impressions style videos. Now, coming up the end of the year, I'm going to be doing all my year-end series over on KO Gaming. So this is going to be a big change, okay? My E3 coverage this year was here on the King of Hate Vlogs because I was talking to a camera, but in the future, if I ever decide to mix it up and do more edited stuff, that might go to KO Gaming as well. So it's going to be a destination for gaming info, and it got very popular at one point this year. It kind of skyrocketed in popularity. Now, unfortunately, it dropped off over this summer because there was nothing going on during the summer. There were no new game releases or nothing really going on, so I didn't have much content for it. Now, the good news is, I am starting to make more content over on KO Gaming. Every week now I'm going to have multiple videos. In fact, tonight, once I finish filming this one, I'm going to start working on my Battlefield 1 review. There's going to be all kinds of reviews for all the new releases coming out in my year-end series, so I really think that that channel is going to get buffed up again once people get used to realizing, oh, geez, Phil's still doing content for the channel. It's not like he abandoned it or anything like that. All right, so that's the deal of how I've been operating this year. And the good news was, earlier this year, things were great. My viewership was up. My KO Gaming viewership was up. DSP Gaming was about the same or even up a little bit, okay? The King of Hate Vlogs viewership was up. And then for whatever reason this summer, I don't know what happened, things dropped off. And there's really no logical explanation for it, because the bottom line is, if you actually look at all of my YouTube analytics and data behind the scenes of YouTube, all right? YouTube is telling me that people are watching my videos for longer than ever, meaning instead of watching a video, for example, 5 minutes, they're watching for 8 minutes. That's great news, right? That means more engagement, more advertisements are playing, more potential to make money. More people are liking my videos, more people are sharing my videos. Overall, you know, all the statistics that YouTube tracks to say your channel is healthy and growing and good, everything's up, according to YouTube. But YouTube is saying my views are either stagnant or down, and my profit is down. I'm making less money. And I'm sitting here like, what the hell? How could that be possible? How could it be that I had this big, you know, positivity going on earlier this year in the spring, and then as soon as the summer hit, things slowed down, and now it's gone permanently, and, you know, I'm playing all these new games now for the hardcore gaming season, which typically at the end of the year, when this time of year starts, I see a skyrocket in views because people who normally wouldn't even watch my stuff start coming out to watch the new games, and they want to see what these new games are because they know the holidays are coming up. Which one do I want for Christmas? Or I only have this amount of money now, and a lot of people are calling this Broketober, right? The month where so many new games have come out, there's no way you could possibly afford them all. Which ones do you want to buy? Well, you got to watch someone play it first to find out. So typically I get this influx, and I'm getting none of that this year. My views are like this. And it's like, I don't know why. The only thing I can hypothesize, quite simply, is that YouTube fucked me still. In fact, if you look at my history this year, okay, almost none of my playthroughs that I did this year got any kind of search attention on YouTube. And you can actually tell because you can look at where your views come from in the YouTube analytics. And it used to be, I'm not even kidding, about 1/3, if not more, of my views would come from YouTube search. People searching for a game, I would pop up and they would click on it and watch the video. I don't get any of that anymore. It's down to, I think, 2%. It's that small. Everything is people who already watch the channel, people who are, you know, who already know my content and they frequent it. None of that YouTube search is even a factor anymore in my YouTube analytics. So I think that's what's going on, is that at this point, I'm really getting screwed over because of what happened last year, and there's no way for me to fix that. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 8 years. But I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I don't want to change everything that I've done on YouTube in 8 years and completely change my personality and completely change my style of video to be what the popular guys do in order to make money. Because ultimately, even though this is my business, okay, and even though this is how I make my living, all right, I'm also doing this because I'm enjoying what I'm doing and because I feel that there's some good behind it, all right? I really do feel that by playing these games, video games like I do, raw, and putting out raw, unedited playthroughs from start to finish of a game, that it gives people an experience of exactly what that game is about. If you need a walkthrough of the game, you can see how I got through it. And by the way, I'm one of the worst gamers out there in a lot of cases. So if I can get through it, you can get through it. And you can see how I flubbed through it, right? And I really do think it's more beneficial than these people who literally the only reason they make videos is entertainment. They want you to get a laugh or they want you to get a rise or drama, whatever, right? So there really is no quality gameplay or quality information in these videos. It's a guy sitting there playing a game, making faces at a face cam, overreacting to stuff that's not scary, basically making a series like Five Nights at Freddy's, one of the worst fucking game series ever made, a multi-million, if not billion-dollar profitable gem of a series, because these idiots yelled at a face cam like a fucking Muppet, and people are so dumb that they believed that it was scary, and they went and bought the games themselves because they're dumb as fucking dirt. That's not what I want to become. Now, on the flip side of that, I also don't want to become a shill. I don't want to become someone who constantly has to advertise in my videos, on my streams, that my gameplay becomes more about fundraising than the actual playing of the game. Which a lot of people who say I should just become a full-time streamer on Twitch, they say that's what I should do. Okay, but the only way to make money on Twitch is to constantly be getting subs and asking for donations and plugging products. So you'd have to hear that. Like, I'd have to be like one of those streamers where I'm playing, oh, thanks to this person who just donated money. All right, now back to the game. It's so distracting. It has nothing to do with the fucking video. Has nothing to do with the game. It has nowhere belonging in a fucking stream or a video anywhere. But that's how these people make money. Those streams on Twitch, where those professional streamers, those are more about social interaction with the person on the other end of the stream than the actual game. It doesn't matter what game they're playing. They could be sitting there fucking playing Pong, right? The original video game ever, Pong. They could be sitting there fucking taking a shit. And as long as they're talking to stream chat and saying thank you every time someone sends them money, they'd still fucking make money. That's not what I want to do. I want to put out quality content that I feel is worth making and that I have fun making. Okay? Because the bottom line is, if every time I play a game, now I have to sit down and edit it for a fucking week before I can even start releasing videos to you, that's not fun. That's the whole point of YouTube, is you're supposed to share your personality and your experiences and your talents with the world and have fun doing it and then make money. Not it becomes a 9-to-5 fucking job where you punch a fucking clock. Oh, I played a game and I faked like I was having fun. Now time to edit this for a week and release it 2 parts a day. Oh, look, I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube now because people are fucking stupid as shit. And really, that's what it's become. There's so many people who just emulate everyone else or copy everyone else at this point because that's the successful formula on YouTube. And so many people come to me and say, why don't you do it? And I say, I was out before, I did this before any of those people existed. And I still do it my way because I think it's the better way. But you're not getting millions of views and you're not getting millions of subs. And then they even tell me I do it wrong. I'm doing it wrong because I'm doing it the way I did it before all of this bullshit. This scripted, fake, nonsense, high production value, teams of people putting out videos bullshit. No, I'm not doing it wrong. I'm doing it right. I'm doing it the way that I care about it. Where if you actually care about the game and you want to have that genuine experience, that's what I'm sharing with you. Not this highly over bullshit video, which is fake as fuck. If you want to watch fake as fuck, go watch television. Go watch fucking, you know, anything that's out there already that's highly produced and is incredibly fake. You know what I mean? Go watch fucking reality, because that's really what it is. It's reality TV. Everyone wants reality TV now. The lowest common denominator. People with 2 fucking brain cells in their brain. I gotta watch reality TV, right? And that's what it's all about. Reality fucking TV. Not someone actually playing a game and enjoying it, but I have to now over-dramatize everything going on for entertainment purposes. No! I don't want to become that. I don't want to be the shill. I don't want to be the clown, the Muppet that dances on camera. I don't want to be any of this. Yeah, every once in a while it's okay to do those things. But that's not what I want to become the embodiment of on YouTube to make money and keep doing this for as a living, right? So I'm worried because right now my views are the same or even going down a little bit. My profit apparently is going down, which I don't understand. And I'm supposed to be having the most busy time of the year. It makes no fucking sense what's going on right now. All of YouTube's metrics are telling me everything's positive. Everything's good and better and positive, yet I'm making less money. How is that fucking possible? So last week I talked about all this in the weekend preview. And I vented about it. Basically, it's all the stuff I just talked about, only not as much in detail as I just gave you. And I said, you know, I really need help. All right? I need help. Right now, I need, first of all, people who are watching my stuff to spread it via word of mouth so that I can keep paying my fucking bills and keep my house and not have it repossessed and shit. I need help. Number 2, Patreon. Because the bottom line is, if you already watch my stuff, you already spread the word about my stuff, and YouTube is saying that everyone who watches my stuff is liking it according to all their metrics, right? The only other thing you could do to help me is Patreon. Pledge money to get perks, get stuff back, but also to help me. Because if the bottom line is, if a small amount of my viewership were patrons, if 10% of the people who watch me every single month, I get around 2 million views still on DSP Gaming a month, and that's not counting views here on the King of Hate Vlogs or over on KO Gaming or anything like that. That's just the channel alone. It gets over 2 million views usually a month, all right? If 10% of 2 million, 10% gave $1 a month, I would never have to worry about YouTube again. I wouldn't have to worry about views. I wouldn't have to worry about advertisements. If that was a consistent pledge that I got on Patreon, you would never have to hear me make a video like this, and I never have to say I'm in dire straits and I don't even know if I could do this business long term anymore. But that's the truth of the matter, is that people don't realize that. And I don't actually talk about Patreon outside of things like my pre-streams or whatever, because I don't advertise. I don't. My only advertisement is on pre-stream every day. That's it. I don't make videos about it. I barely ever post up on Twitter an advertisement. Almost nothing. So because of that, because I'm all about the games and the gameplay and busting my ass making gameplay videos for you, I don't make a lot of money. I'm not like these other fucking people, right? And I'm not using all the tricks of the trade to get high views on YouTube so I can get tons of sponsorship and free games out of the ass like everyone else. There's gamers on YouTube that have not paid for a fucking video game in years. I'm going to say that again. There's gaming YouTubers who have not even bought a fucking game for years. They get everything for free, or they get paid to play the fucking games. Not one video they put out is legitimate because it's all paid sponsorships. And that's what people think is good. How? Are you a fucking idiot? You're just watching constant advertisements for free, by the way. You're a moron. You're wasting your time watching these advertisements for free on YouTube, and you think that they're entertaining because, I don't know, maybe you're simpleton. Who else would like this fucking shit? I don't know. I certainly fucking don't. I watch it. I watch 5-10 seconds of it, and I want to fucking vomit and shit at the same fucking time. I can't take that shit. I can't. And I know I have a viewership that's in the same mind frame as me, or else I wouldn't have been on YouTube for 8 years. There's actually a group of intelligent people out there who want my kind of content. Informative, real, right? Not fucking stage scripted entertainment. You're not watching my streams to be entertained every possible second of the fucking stream or every possible second of the video. You need instant gratification. No, you're more mature than that. You understand that you can watch the content and, oh, well, this is what the game is. Now I know if I want to go check it out for myself or not. Or I know I wasn't going to get this game, so I'll watch Phil play it, so at least I know what the game's all about. That's what my content has always been about on DSP Gaming. And of course, now I've really upped the quality of the reviews that I'm doing on KO Gaming. People are telling me that my videos on KO Gaming are just as good as anyone else who's doing high production value reviews on the internet, but that I just don't have the exposure. If I had the exposure, I'd be probably beating these people. Some people have even told me, I'm not going to give names or whatever, that my reviews on KO Gaming this year have been much better than a few people who are actually known. This is what they do on YouTube. Game reviews. Mine are better. But just because I don't have the exposure, you know, I haven't surpassed anyone. So all this being said, okay, this past week there was an outpouring of positivity. People were coming out to thank me, to support me, leaving nice comments, suggestions, constructive stuff that really helped out. And what I want to do right now is give you an update on how everything's going after this 1 week of this being known that my business was not doing well and I was in jeopardy of not even being able to do this as a job anymore. And I also want to give you some responses to some of the suggestions that people have said about suggested improvements. Because I actually think that some of them were really good. I think some of them were not so good. And I want to explain why, rather than, well, Phil refuses to change because we suggested all these things for him to do, and he didn't do them all. So obviously he's just ignorant, or he's, what's the word? Stubborn. And he doesn't want to listen to all of our suggestions, so therefore it's his fault that he fails on YouTube. No. The bottom line is that a lot of suggestions that I get just aren't viable or feasible. And I'm going to explain a lot of that to you right now why, okay? So first off, let's talk the positive side. On the positive side of things, this week, I did not see an increase in views. No. I did not see an increase in any kind of engagement. But likes are up even more. I think what happened is after watching the weekend preview last week, people said, we got to start liking Phil's videos because that's going to help him. Likes are up even more. Engagement's up slightly more from last week when I've last looked. And, get this, my profit is up. Now, if you're wondering why, that could be one of two reasons. it could be because people realized, oh shit, Phil makes money off of the ads on his videos. Let's do him a favor. Let's do him a solid. He's given us 8 years of fucking free videos. Let's turn off ad blocker when we watch his videos. Let's make sure that there's videos playing with ads on them when we watch his stuff so that he'll actually make the money that he's supposed to be earning. You know, give him the benefit of the doubt because he's in trouble, and if we don't do this, he's not going to be able to do YouTube anymore. Or it could be that right now is the beginning of the biggest advertisement season of the year. It's traditionally October through December when the ads pick up in ad revenue. You're going to see way more ads, way different ads for products that are holiday or gift-giving themed. You're going to see a lot of game ads, movie ads, things for Christmas-style ads coming up in the next few months on YouTube. And those are the high-paying ads. This is like the prime time to make videos on YouTube right now because right now is the big money-making paying time, okay? So maybe YouTube flipped the switch, and now all the better ads are now being on YouTube this week, and so my ad revenue is going up. It could be that, or it could be both. It could be a factor of both things. So I made a little bit of extra money this week in comparison to what I would usually make. The bottom line is, it looks like this month, because we're near the end of the month. I won't know for about another week, actually, because there's 3 more days left in the month, and then it takes about 3 days for YouTube to process all the data. So really, it's about a week from today. I will actually know how I did in October. It's looking like I'm definitely going to do better than I did in September, but it's certainly not looking like it's going to be anywhere near as good as I need to do or have been doing ever in this kind of time of year. It's only a little bit more than what I used to make, okay? But the other positive thing, 2 positive things, is that number 1, Patreon, I had an outpouring of support this week for people who pledged to my Patreon. And I just want to say this right up front. Thank you to those who watched the Weekend Preview last week, believed me, and listened. Because the worst thing would happen is no one believed me, no one listened, and then by the end of this year, that's it, and my YouTube career is done, and I'm gone. And 8 years, a legacy gone, just because people didn't believe me that I was actually in trouble and that I needed your help, all right? People did. And I had, I think, over 50 new people pledged to my Patreon. I think this month, October 2016, is going to be, I'm going to have the most number of pledgees ever on Patreon, and I'm probably going to make the most money ever that I've ever made on Patreon before, since I started in February of 2015. Now, I want to clarify that, because there's some misconceptions. There's all these dumb reporting websites out there that never have correct data. Not once ever have I used any of these reporting websites for YouTube or Patreon or anything where the data was correct. All they do is they take the front-facing number on the front of a fucking web page, and they think that it's right no matter what. When in reality, all data that's public-facing is subject to context, all right? If you look at a graph of like how I've done on Patreon, it looks like I've plummeted. Oh my God, Phil used to make $1,250 or more every single month, and then all of a sudden, you know, he started making less and less and less, and now it's less than, it's like $1,000 a month. So what happened? He plummeted. Wrong. It's all wrong. The data is completely and utterly wrong. What you're seeing when you go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/DarkSidePhil, that is a front-facing number for the public. Okay, that number has been edited by Patreon 3 fucking times this year. First, they wanted to put in the fact that there are fees that they take out, processing fees, okay? So first it dropped once. Then they went in there and they said, well, now we want to estimate based off of how many false pledgees you get a month. We want to subtract that from the total, okay? So they started doing that because people used to false pledge to my Patreon account hundreds of dollars a month that I never would get. So it would look like I'm making $2,000 a month when in reality I was still making the $1,250, and they would, you know, they wanted to fix that. So then they kind of fixed that. But then, this summer, they instituted a new process by which if you pledge to a Patreon, myself, the Patreon page owner, can make it so that when you pledge, it charges you immediately. So that way, there's no trolling. If you're going to pledge, it's going to charge you. You can't false pledge, right? So it eliminated all false pledges. But then Patreon never changed the front-facing number. So it has in there calculated estimated false charges and stuff, but it's wrong because now there's no false charges anymore. So really what you see on the Patreon page, my page, is around $225 less than what I actually have pledged to me at the time. Okay, I just want to make that abundantly clear. That's the truth of the matter. But Patreon, and I've contracted Patreon on it, and they won't fix it. Oh, well, thanks. That is an oversight on our behalf, but we're just, you know, we'd have to recode the whole thing, and we're not going to do that. That's what I was told. They're not going to recode the whole thing just for me. Okay. You know, I had trolling last year where people were posting up my address and personal information and all kinds of shit on my Patreon page, and they did recode it then because they realized how serious it was that I could probably sue them if they didn't. Here, they won't do it. They won't fix it. I can't make them do it, but the bottom line is that number is always going to be absolutely wrong on my page. In fact, to give you a frame of reference here, last month, someone pledged $20, so they were charged $20 immediately. But they didn't want to do a $20 recurring charge. They wanted to do a $5 recurring charge, so they immediately changed it to $5. So here's what happened. My Patreon total went up by 20 bucks, but then it subtracted 15 because they lowered their pledge. So it did count on the main homepage for 5 seconds, and then it reduced down by 15 bucks. So everyone who makes a pledge and then lowers it isn't reflected properly on the page at all. And that's the problem with my Patreon page. It's just not correct. So really, unfortunately, you're going to have to rely on what I tell you, every month on how I'm doing on Patreon. The good news is, right now, I'm probably going to make the most ever on Patreon in a month, and the most number of patrons, and it's good. And here's the thing. If we can retain that, if every month the people who pledged right now keep their pledges, all right? Not that they make one large pledge that they go away and they never come back, but if they do $1 a month ongoing pledge, $5 a month ongoing pledge, okay? That's going to save my ass. Like, you have no idea. If right now, like I said, 10% of the people who watch my stuff gave $1 a month, I would never be talking about this shit ever again. So if you're seeing this video, this is the first you're hearing of this, and you watch my daily live streams or you watch my daily gameplay videos on DSP Gaming, you love my vlogging here on the King of Hate Vlogs, and you really like what I've been doing over on KO Gaming with the new video style I've been putting out this year, and you want to see me continue to do this, as little as $1 a month. It's nothing to you in a lot of cases, and I'll say this, I'm fully aware there are some viewers of mine, $1 is a ton of money, okay? For us in the United States, it's nothing. We can't buy a pack of gum. We can't buy any food. You can't even buy an onion at your grocery store for $1 in most cases. It's more than that, okay? So $1 to us is nothing. I understand that's from my frame of reference that I say that. But if a bunch of people pledge $1, it means a lot. It could keep me doing this in the long term. So thank you to those who have pledged. Please, I hope you keep your pledges moving forward, because that's going to support me and allow me to keep doing this. And if you have not pledged yet, get in on it. I'm telling you, this is how I'm going to be able to do this long term, and it'll get me up in the morning energized and positive that people want to see me keep doing this, rather than me every day stressing out about fucking views and who's going to show up and who's going to watch what game. That's why I adopted Patreon last year to begin with. So if I can make enough money doing it, that I don't have that pressure. The problem is, last year the false copyright strikes completely fucked my business. And now I'm not in the position where I'm sitting pretty and Patreon's helping me with that anymore. I just need to pay my fucking bills. Okay? Now, let's address a couple things, because there's been some suggestions this week of things that I could do to improve. All right? Things that I can do to make my business better and or make it more popular and keep doing this on YouTube full time. There's some I want to address and tell you what I think is a good idea and what's a bad idea, and I want to get your feedback if you're a viewer who wasn't involved in that discussion, all right? So first off, some people said, well, Phil, your Patreon in general, the perks. Take a look at the perks that you have on Patreon. So just so you know, if you're not aware, if you pledge $1 a month, you get a text thank you in my weekend preview videos. It's a text crawl at the end of every video. So 3 to 4 videos a month, you're guaranteed to have your name in a video as a thank you. $5 a month, you get premium forum access, you get a custom title on my forums on thekingofhate.com, and you get to participate in any event that's going on this month. So for example, this month, if you pledge by the end of October, and you pledge $5 in November, you're going to be nominating and voting on indie games that I'm going to play in a marathon at the end of November, okay? That's a lot of power. That determines directly what I'm going to be playing for a whole day. In fact, this October horror marathon that's going to happen on Halloween in a couple days already is determined already by the patrons. They had a ton of power in determining what I did in that event, and that's awesome power. $5, you could jump in and formulate an event that's coming up in the future. Wow, that's a lot of power. For $10, you get all that stuff, plus you actually get a verbal thank you in a video where I say thank you to you in a video, and right now it's been my Ask the King series, because that's a good segment. A lot of people are watching. It's a vlog style video where people will get their name out there, okay? For $20, you can get your question actually answered on Ask the King for free, not for free, for sure is what I meant to say. 100% chance I will answer your question on Ask the King if you pledge $20 or more. And then $50, you get your own private Q&A video. So you get to actually ask me a question that I'm going to answer for like 20 to 25 minutes, or tons of questions. A lot of people ask a ton of stuff. I just had someone who asked me all about streaming and the technical stuff behind YouTube, and I gave them a lot of information there. A lot of questions I get are personal. So if you've watched my stuff over the years and you've had burning questions you've ever wanted to have answered, and you want to contribute, $50, you get this private video from me. Okay? I've not had one single person who's ever pledged $50 tell me that they did not love the video. They love them because I go above and beyond, okay, to make sure that these videos are entertaining and informative and good. So those are the perk levels that I have right now. Now, a lot of people this week said, well, why don't you have better perks? Like, for example, there's YouTubers out there who for $1 a month or $5 a month, you get early access to all their stuff. They have an exclusive stream they do, or they have an exclusive video series that they put out. Early access is great, and almost all YouTubers who use Patreon do it. Why don't you? I can answer that directly for you, and this is the God's honest truth. When I was setting up my Patreon in early 2015, I wanted to do that, and I immediately heard through the grapevine that the certain group of people, you know, those same fucking people that put copyright strikes against my channel and swat me and do all this nasty shit to me because they're really vile fucking human beings, guess what they said? They publicly said this on social media. If Phil puts anything hidden behind a paywall on Patreon, we will just fucking basically become a Patreon subscriber. We won't reveal who we are, all right? So one person, $1 a month or $5, wow, it's not going to help me that much. It's one person is going to basically infiltrate my Patreon. And then they're going to immediately, when all these private things get shown, or let's say, for example, I upload a video early, a video review. You get exclusive access for 2 days if you're a patron. Everyone else has to wait 2 days. So I make it a private or a unlisted video on YouTube, and you can only see it if you have the link. So obviously, I'll send that link out to the patrons. This one inside asshole is going to send that information publicly to the world. All right, they'll either rip the video and post it on their own channel, or they'll get that link, the unlisted link, and just post it publicly on social media so that everyone who wants to see the video can just watch it anyway, therefore making that perk level completely worthless. This is what I was threatened with when I wanted to set up my fucking Patreon last year. Tell me what the fuck I've ever done in my life to deserve the shit that I've gotten, seriously. Like, everyone else on planet Earth can use Patreon in a nice way, and I have to limit what I do because of these pieces of shit. These human pieces of shit want to ruin me and ruin my life. And this is what I mean. Like, it's awful, the things that they've done to me over the years. And this is one of them. So sadly, no. I'm sorry, everyone. I would like to have a private show. I would love to have advanced access to a review or maybe my year-end series. You know, you see it 2 days early coming up if you're a patron. Can't do it. Can't do it because of these fucking scumbags, okay? So that's out of the question. That's not a perk I can do. Now, some people said, well, Phil, why don't you just, if you really want a lot of people to pledge $1, why not just make everything for $1, right? Why not make it so that forum access and voting on events and everything is just $1? Because I'll tell you why. It's logistics. Because every month when I get people who pledge $5 or more, I have to sort through this giant fucking file that Patreon sends me. And by the way, it's not sorted either. I have to sort through it. It takes hours of work to get through it and order it per how much every person pledged and what cleared and everything. And then I have to get all their information. I have to message all of them on Patreon, get their email information and their forum information. I then have to file all that out and send it to my webmaster, who then takes that big listing that I gave him and does the upgrades every month. There's no automated system. This is what people don't seem to realize. I am a one-man show. There's no automated system, right? I'm not a big company. I don't have other people working for me to do the busy work like this. And the bottom line is I work so much. I stream so much. I play so many games and put out so much content that I don't have time to do this stuff. So for me, it's tough to even make it happen now with the 50 or some people who pledge $5 or more a month. Now, imagine if that quadrupled. Imagine if 400 people a month are pledging $1, and now I have to process 400 forum upgrades. I would not have time to work. It would be my month. So that's why things that are going to be time consuming, like a forum upgrade or premium access to something, has to be something simple or quick, or I can't make it that lower level, or else, you know what I mean? The thing that whatever the dollar level is on Patreon, it has to be something reasonable and feasible that's quick and not time consuming. And that's my challenge right now is I can't find anything. The things that I've done, like the text thank you in a video, is kind of easy. I could just sort this file that I get from Patreon and put the names into a video, and it doesn't take that long. But anything else, you know what I mean? Like, what else could I possibly do? And there's been other suggestions. You should do private meet and greets in Seattle. That would never work. I'd get 2 people to do it. You know what I mean? It would never work. Those kind of perks don't work. A lot of other things. Well, for some people, they get to vote in polls or suggest things. I already do that. I already do have that as perks. The $5 perk is what that is. Or if you're talking about daily polls, I do those on Twitter because it takes too long to set up stuff on the forums and then direct patrons to my forums to vote on these things. Wouldn't work. All right? And other people, well, what about Q&A questions and stuff? I already do that. That's what I mean. Like, a lot of the things that other YouTubers do as their Patreon perks, I do for free. I've been doing for free for 8 fucking years. So it's hard for me to say, this is the thing that I could do to make Patreon more attractive to everyone. Okay? So what I need from everyone is obviously not only your Patreon support, I need your actual concrete suggestions on something that's not time consuming, but something that could be interesting that I could do as a Patreon perk that isn't something that, you know, I need a team of people to do, or I need to spend money. That's the other thing. Phil doesn't do giveaways anymore. If you were a Patreon, you could get into an exclusive giveaway. Well, first of all, that's against Patreon terms of service, but I know people still do it. I have no money, so I can't buy things to give away. You know what I mean? Shipping cost. I used to do the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. The last year I did it was 2014. You want to know why? Because that year I moved. I was already in debt up to my eyeballs from moving. And I spent, I'm not exaggerating, over the course of 3 months, over $1,000 shipping games. Just fucking video games. Worldwide. Because that's how expensive shipping cost is. Okay? So I can't do it anymore, man. I can't. I don't have anything to give away. I can't afford the shipping. I can't do these giveaways. So that's not a valid perk anymore. I need your suggestions. What the hell could I do as a valid Patreon perk? Okay? Some other things that people said this week. Actually, hold on, because my phone just vibrated. I want to make sure nothing important. Okay. Some other suggestions people made this week. Well, I should stream less. Right now, I'm streaming at least once a day for 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay. I should stream less. Some people have even said, Phil, you know, over the years I've said, streaming is not profitable. And let me explain something. When I streamed on Twitch TV for 2 years, all right, when I started, it was actually profitable. But over the course of the 2 years that I streamed there, by the time that I was done, by the way, I didn't have any significant dip in viewership on Twitch when I was streaming. I was still a pretty constant level of people who would turn out for my streams. The ad revenue that I made on Twitch dropped probably by about, and I'm not exaggerating here, about 75%. When I started on Twitch in early 2013, I could have a stream of about 500 to 1,000 people for a few hours, and I would make like $100. And then by the time that I was done, the 2 years that I streamed on Twitch, that same fucking stream, same viewers, same everything, same length, I would make $5. I'm not even kidding you. The ad revenue on Twitch is a fucking abysmal. Twitch lost their advertisers for whatever reason. Maybe people figured out that they're not getting any payoff from people watching ads on Twitch or whatever. I don't know. Which is why Twitch is all about subscriptions. You gotta subscribe. Get those custom emotes and shit. Subscribe. That's why everyone over there is all about their subs. Now, I was never about that. I was not willing to sacrifice the quality of my gameplay or my streams to constantly be giving shout-outs to people who were subbing and talk about subs and push the subs, so I barely got any. And I wasn't making much, if any, money streaming on Twitch. It was fan service. It was because people wanted to see me do stuff live. So then when I came to YouTube in late 2014, all right, I was making ad revenue at least during the time that people were watching the streams. And that is the truth. Right now, for any stream on any given day, I probably make just as much as, say, a major gameplay video. So, for example, if it's premiere day for a new game, and I stream that game, and it gets decent viewership, I probably make just as much money on that stream as, like, maybe the first video in the series for that playthrough. So it's okay. It's not great. It's a little bit, but it's okay. At least the streaming isn't a waste of my time completely, and I get nothing out of it. I do get a little bit of something out of it. But as you know, when I live stream, I'm not, besides the pre-stream, which is 20 minutes before I start gameplay. And by the way, everyone complains. It's to the point now where, like, I keep explaining to people, I'm in dire straits. I need help. I need to advertise. You need to participate. And then I do my pre-stream where I do a few ads a day for maybe 10 minutes. And everyone in the stream chat bitching like a little entitled kid. More ads. He's doing it again. What the fuck? I want to give you a free 3.5-hour gameplay stream. And you're complaining because I'm giving a few plugs beforehand to pay my fucking bills. I mean, talk about being immature and not a logical being that just doesn't understand how fucking business works, that you're going to sit there and complain. Really. But I digress. That's it. That's the only time I even advertise is that. You know what I mean? You never see a video on YouTube. Oh, by the way, do this and this and give me money for this and this. Never. Never do I make that kind of video. This is a rare occurrence in a video like this now where I'm actually talking about this stuff. So, really, the daily streaming that I do doesn't equate into anything super profitable. So a lot of people have been saying I should stream less. Now, they're not saying don't stream at all. A lot of people have been recommending that I change my stream methods, that maybe I only stream once or twice a week, and when I do, those are the multiplayer sessions where maybe I'm doing online gameplay with other people, and I'm interacting a little bit more with stream chat and stuff. So it is more like maybe a Twitch stream or whatever. But I don't know how that would work. Like, first of all, I could not stream at all. I could just never stream again. And yeah, I would see a dip there, but maybe more people would watch my videos on demand on YouTube. I don't know. It would be basically going back to 2012, you know? It would be capture, so it would look good, but there would be no live streams. I don't know how that would go down. If anything, people who enjoy watching my streams might just go away completely and say, well, that's not fair, and leave. So I'm afraid to do it, okay? Doing only multiplayer streaming is tough because, as you know, especially now, like this busy time of year, I'm every day doing something different. Today I'm playing the Titanfall campaign. Maybe tomorrow I'm playing a multiplayer game. The day after, it's not like I have one day a week that I can schedule. I'm doing multiplayer on this day because I need to get through games so I can review them. I can't say, oh, I'm going to play the Titanfall campaign on Tuesday and Wednesday, but I'm not doing the multiplayer till Saturday. Therefore, the review can't come out for 2 weeks. No one's going to care about the review if it's 2 weeks late. So that's the thing, is I don't know if I could even juggle my schedule around like that, okay? So, reducing the amount of streams. First of all, I did. By the way, I used to stream 2 major streams every day. We're talking 5 to 8 hours of gameplay every day I used to stream. I don't do that anymore. At least I stream maybe 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay. At most, I stream maybe 5 or 6. But I've drastically reduced the amount of streaming I used to do. And that's how KO Gaming came to be, because I took that time to work on videos for KO Gaming. If I hadn't, KO Gaming couldn't exist, right? The time that I put into those videos. So, does that make sense? Could I realistically reduce the amount that I stream, and would that really even help my business? But that was a suggestion that people made. Another suggestion, and I'm going to very, very clearly explain to you why this is not going to ever happen. Phil, just go back to Twitch, bite the bullet, go back to Twitch TV, and stream there exclusively, and stream like everyone else on Twitch TV, where you do streams that are catered toward your viewing audience, so it's more of an interactive stream between you and your audience than anyone caring about the game that you're playing, and we guarantee you that you'll get subs and you'll get more attention and stuff like that, alright? I have many responses to this, okay? First of all, bullshit. And I call it right now. Bullshit. Anyone who thinks that going back to Twitch TV and streaming there is the magic solution to all of my problems is just so deluded, alright? It may temporarily give me some kind of a boost, but it's not going to give me any kind of long-term growth. I was on Twitch TV for 2 years. Guess how much growth I saw in the 2 years on Twitch TV? 0. I saw no active growth from my streaming on Twitch. If anything, Twitch actually, by the end of the 2 years, became more of a hassle, because you had people who were in the stream chat who were subs. They were now entitled. We're entitled to constant new emotes and being entertained, and you have to cater to our ways because we're your Twitch subs. You have to do what we tell you all the time, and if you don't listen to our feedback, how dare you have a sub? And I had all this drama, and people in the stream chat causing drama and shit, and it was so distracting from me just being able to play games and enjoy them, honestly. And like I said, by the end of the 2 years that I streamed there, I was making almost no money live streaming on Twitch anymore, to the point where it wasn't even, it was more of a pain in my ass than anything else. And then the straw that broke the camel's back is when I was streaming at around 5,000 kilobits or kilobytes per second. I forget if it's bytes or bits, excuse me. Which was above Twitch's recommended threshold for streaming. The reason I did it is because I was playing a few games that year on PlayStation 4 that really needed a higher bitrate. If you didn't stream at a higher bitrate, they looked like shit. They would pixelate like crazy. I was actually playing Assassin's Creed Unity, I remember, and the game did pixelate like crazy while I was playing it. I remember, and I was like, I have to do this at a higher bitrate. And a mod came in to my stream chat and told me that I needed to immediately lower my bitrate, or I was basically going to have my stream terminated. I was going to be kicked from the site. So I had a conversation with the guy, and he basically said that even though it is kind of a rough guide and there is no concrete black-white what you can stream on Twitch, that they prefer that you stream at 3,500 kilobits per second. And if I go above that, they have the right to terminate my streams and kick me off the site. And basically, I was now being given the official notice from Twitch staff that they noticed that I'm streaming at a higher bitrate than what they like. And if I continue to do it, that they were going to get rid of me. Okay? So I thought about it. I took one day to think about it. And I said, fuck this. I'm getting nothing out of streaming on Twitch. I'm not a constant shill and advertiser like they want me to be so I can make money through subs. I'm not willing to degrade the quality of my gameplay or streams to get subs on Twitch. So, what's the benefit? Now I'm being told I can't even record and stream at the quality that I want. Because the bottom line is, if I did 3,500 kilobits per second, I cannot do 1080p video. It will look pixelated as hell. I cannot do 60 frames per second video. It will look pixelated as hell and or choppy. Okay, I would have to go to 720p and 30 frames per second, which is so outdated at this point. All right, it is. These new consoles, everyone thinks do either. A lot of them are doing 900p or 1080p resolution. So I'd have to be forced to give you inferior visuals to the game that I'm playing, and I wouldn't be able to do 60 frames per second. And I'm sorry, tons of games today play at 60 frames per second, tons. And they need that to look good. Playing them at 30 frames per second, they look like shit. You're not getting the real experience of that game. Now, a lot of people have come to me and said, but Phil, people don't watch your videos for the video quality. They watch them for you. Yes and no. I don't believe. I think some people watch my videos for me. Some people watch it for the game. Some people watch it for the quality. So I've got this diverse viewer base of people who are watching for different reasons. There are not a lot of people who do as much gameplay as me who record and stream at the quality that I do it at all. In fact, I would say there's no one who does it at that quality and does it as much as I do. So I'm kind of the go-to source if you want to see the highest quality stuff, but also you want a lot of it. I'm the person to go to. So if I were to go back to Twitch, immediately all of my video quality will dip. And now that viewer base is gone. So, wow, I'm back on Twitch. Will I see an increase? Nope, immediate dip because people are pissed because I got rid of that upgrade that I did 2 years ago to make my visual quality better. You see what I mean? And it's a slippery slope. No matter what, I cannot see a benefit of going back to Twitch. The only way I could see myself making out going back to Twitch is if I went over there and either, number one, I destroyed my YouTube business overnight. Just fuck it. Fuck DSP Gaming and fuck all that. I'm just going to be a professional Twitch streamer from now on. And I need a couple thousand people to come over with me daily and to all sub to me. And I'll just talk to you all day. And we'll shoot this shit while I pretend that I'm caring about the game that I'm playing when I really don't. And that'll be me. And that'll be the end of my YouTube 8 years of career. And instead, I'll be a Twitch streamer. I don't want to do that. You know, I could do that. I don't want to do that. Just like I don't want to destroy my YouTube content and make it so different from what it's always been. Because I know there's a fucking viewing market for what I do. The other thing I could do is I could go back to Twitch and only stream there like once or twice a week. And that would be my streaming. And that would be it. Like, whenever I stream a multiplayer game, I stream it on Twitch and that's it. And I don't stream on YouTube at all. Because, by the way, you may not be aware of this, but there are agreements now that you cannot stream on both services. So if I stream on Twitch, I can't stream on YouTube, and if I stream on YouTube, I can't stream on Twitch. They don't let you do it. They all have contracts now that if you want to make money on their websites, you can't stream on the other one because they're all in competition, and they don't want their competition to benefit. So I couldn't do both either. That's the other thing. I have to make a choice, and right now I have a viewer base who comes back on YouTube. So I don't know. But ultimately, I will say this. I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people love Twitch, and everyone's like, oh, but Twitch is the go-to. Twitch is the go-to place for streaming because they were in the right place at the right time. It's not because of their business practices. It's not because of the quality of what they do. It's not because of any of that. It's just because they were lucky. That's it. That's the only reason that Twitch is as popular as they are. If someone else had done the same thing they did before they did, or at the same time they did, they would not be as popular. Because the bottom line is Twitch is a bad business. Twitch is not a good place to put out quality content. It's not. You are constantly nagged to advertise and or push subs or product so that you can make money, and they'll make money, they get profit from that, and then you get profit from that. You want to know why I know all of this? Because you might be saying, Phil talks about Twitch all the time like he knows about it, but he hasn't been on Twitch for 2 years. They're so stupid, they never remove me from their email list. So every time that there's a new update for partners, I get it. And all the emails I get, they have not invested $1 into their actual business to make it better. They don't have higher quality streams. They don't have, like, much increased server capacity. You know what I mean? All the things why can't people stream at 1080p, 60 frames per second on Twitch? Because they don't care about that. They don't care about the quality of the gameplay or even the quality of the stream. Why do you think there's so many titty streamers on Twitch who are girls with big-ass fucking boobs hanging out, and they barely can play a game, but they get tons of fucking money on Twitch, and Twitch makes out? That's a big demographic for them to make profit, because they don't care about the quality. If they did care about the quality, they'd stop telling you, oh, buy a t-shirt. Oh, here's a new kind of chat emote system, an exclusive emote thing, and this and that has nothing to fucking do with the stream. None of it has anything to do with sitting there and playing the game on Twitch, which is what the fucking website was created to fucking do. In fact, if you don't believe me, they changed their terms of service. Their terms of service and mission statement used to state that Twitch TV is the premier destination for gamers to share their gameplay experiences. It now says it's the premier destination for gamers to share their personalities with others. I'm not kidding. Like, it says that. It doesn't say it exactly in that wording, but basically it says it's for interaction between a gamer and a stream audience, not about the game anymore. They don't care about that. They're terrible. They're a horrible business for gaming in general. They're just bad. They don't care about actual games. They don't care about what you put on your stream as long as this is coming into them. Why do you think when there's people on stream faking getting fucking swatted that they give him a slap on the wrist and let him back the next day? Because he was a top earner. Fake swatting. Making a joke out of people getting almost shot and killed by police because of assholes pranking them, right? And, oh, it's a prank to call the police and say that someone's dying in your house. Oh, yeah, it's real fun. It's all fun and games till it fucking happens to you like it did to me. And let me tell you, that shit ain't fucking funny. If I ever find out who the fuck did that to me, there's gonna be serious consequences. They're lucky that they're a little coward and they hide behind the fucking internet. Because that is so insane. And to joke about it like it's funny, but that person's back the next day. And that's just one example. There's been all these numerous things that have happened on Twitch that are just ridiculous, and it just proves time and time again that business is made solely for money, and that's it. Hold on. My girlfriend just texted me from work. So yeah, that's all they are. They don't care about the quality of anything. Why do you think they give the highest quality to the highest streams and they don't complain when they stream at higher bit rates? Because it was actually brought up. This is an important point. Someone was or a lot of Overwatch streamers realized that putting it at 720p the game looks like shit. So they started streaming at 1080p 60 frames per second, and when that game was highly popular this year, Twitch did nothing. Because those people were bringing in tons of money for them. And then other people who were streaming the game, their streams looked like shit, and they looked at the bitrate of these higher level streamers, and so the bitrate was higher than what they were supposed to be allowed to do, and they went and complained. And they got the runaround from Twitch. Oh, we just didn't catch it. It's okay. Even though people reported those streams for having a higher bitrate, they were never shut down because they were bringing in tons of money. Fuck that. I'm not going to be a part of that. At least on YouTube, with all the bullshit that YouTube fucking has tossed my way over the years, I know at least I could upload videos and I could stream and there's no fucking favoritism. You know what I mean? I could put out the highest quality stuff that I want and I don't have to worry about this favoritistic bullshit and bullying and being pressured to do things on my fucking streams and channels that I don't want to fucking do. I mean, that is the worst. If every day I had to basically be something I don't want to be and work for a business that I don't stand behind. Ugh. The bottom line is, I'm not going back to Twitch. It's just not going to happen. As so many people who seem to think Twitch streaming is like this amazing thing for gamers, it's not. It's not. Once again, it's the hype. It's the bullshit that people buy into all this time. And it's just not going to help me if I go back over there. All right? So, now I've talked at length in this video about all this stuff. Okay? Right now, I'm happy because obviously I'm getting a little bit of boost in ad revenue and I'm getting a little bit of boost on Patreon. Does this mean if this keeps up that I can keep doing this full time? I don't know. I mean, more than likely, yeah, I will make a little bit of extra money here at the end of the year, but it's not going to be what I used to make. If Patreon could make up for that, then yeah, but the thing is right now, even with the 50-some people who gave pledges who normally wouldn't have, that's not enough to save me. I need hundreds in order to even see any kind of a significant move towards what I was making so I could pay my bills and still be here. You know what I mean? So thank you to those who did pledge. Thank you to those who maybe did turn off their ad blockers and they're helping me out. Maybe those who were spreading the word. I don't know. But thank you. And thank you for watching this video. What I will do is I'll try to have a periodic update. Not too often, but maybe every once in a while, maybe once a month till the end of the year, so you know what's going on with me and my business, so that you obviously are in the know, and you're not, gee, I wonder if Phil's going to be here tomorrow. I don't know. Is Phil going to be here next year? I don't know. Because people are still asking, Phil, are you going to be playing this game next year? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be in this house next year. That's the reality of it, you know? I don't know. Right now, I'm narrowly paying my bills. Right now, and I'm not even exaggerating, right now, I'm hoping that there's enough money in my bank account to clear and pay my bills this month coming up in November. It's going to depend on how much money I actually get out of Patreon for this month. So we'll see. And if things don't go through, I'm probably going to have to go borrow money from my parents, which I've already done in the past. I might have to do it again, which they don't have a lot of money to borrow. I might have to take out a big loan, and that's going to be terrible because that's going to ruin my credit. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to have to do. But I really want to keep doing this the way that I've been doing it for 8 years. I want to provide you with the uncut gameplay so you know exactly what that experience is. I want to make an edited video for you, a nice, highly, edited, informative review that hits upon all these important points. That's not a 5-second review like all these stupid mainstream media do, but also doesn't have to have stupid dressing up in comedy skits. That's the other thing. Well, Phil, you know, Angry Joe makes these videos, and they're so good because he dresses up and there's comedy skits in them. And if you were just not lazy and you actually worked your ass off like Joe, you'd be able to be popular on YouTube. Or maybe I don't want to dress up and be a comedian. Did you ever think of that? Because I could have been that. Maybe I tried that. Did you see the original Hateful Truths back in the day? The first few had that. And after doing it a few times, I was like, I think I would rather just do a better, more well-informed review. To me, it sounds like a better video. And you know what? It is. Because you don't have to sit through comedy that you might or might not like. You don't have to sit through this skit. You know, that is the truth. I never found, on YouTube, I never found this huge gimmick. You know, for PewDiePie, it was screaming at the camera like a little girl, and everyone laughs because he sounds like a little pussy, right? For Angry Joe, it's because he dresses up and does comedy skits, and he puts tons of time and effort into his reviews, but let's face it, why does he get those views? Because he dresses up and does comedy skits. That's why. Not because of the review, because it's an entertainment video that's fluff. That's why people watch this shit on YouTube, and I've never made a fluff fucking video. I mean, maybe that's my problem, because everything I do is actually worthwhile and can teach you something, and you can learn something, you know, from a video that I put out there. Maybe that's why I'm not popular, because people aren't looking for information and for quality. They're looking for fluff, and they're just looking to fucking, I don't know, you know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. That I could be here for 8 years, busting my ass. And it feels lazy. He doesn't make Angry Joe level reviews. If I did an Angry Joe level review, not only would I be spending thousands of dollars per video, I'd need a team of people to make it, because guess what? He doesn't make those by himself. And I'd be playing probably 1/5 of the amount of games that I do now. So is that what you want? You just want me to stop altogether covering all the new games and the games that I enjoy and doing streams, and instead you just want me to fucking do edited videos with comedy skits in them? I don't know. I don't think there's a solution. You know, I don't think there's an easy solution or easy determination of what is the right or wrong thing to do in a situation like this. And, you know, admittedly, a lot of people say I'm stubborn and I'm unwilling to change. Yes and no. I'm willing to change to a point. I was willing to adopt direct capture after some convincing, live streaming after some convincing. I was willing to do edited videos after some convincing, but I don't want to change the entire fucking point of my videos. I mean, if that is the case, and that's what it takes to be successful in business, I'm no better than GE, General Electric. You may not know. I'll end the video like this, all right? Jack Welch, I think that was his name, Jack Welch. He became the CEO of GE, General Electric, this major American corporation that was well known worldwide for creating great high-quality electronics. Appliances, things around your house, anything you could think of that was electronic, they would make it. But for some reason, the company was failing. I don't know, because I didn't do too much research in that regard of why they were failing. So Jack Welch said, well, since we're failing as a company manufacturing electronics, we're going to become a finance company. And I'm not joking, he transformed the company into a finance company. He fired most of his staff. So most people who worked for General Electric over the years and became these really valuable employees for electronics were all fired and laid off. He hired finance people. He took all the money that the company had and put it into backing a finance company, and he became a successful finance company. okay? Now, there's people that love Jack Welch. They think that he's a transformative genius. And they think that he's one of the smartest people on the planet because he saw that this was a dying effort and he's like an idol for people in the business world. You know what I call Jack Welch? A fucking coward. A fucking heartless piece of shit who was put into a position of power, and just because he had that power, he quit, and he took the easy way out. He saw that the trend was, what's popular right now? Finance. So fuck electronics, let's make a finance firm, and he won by default. Because he turned his company into what was popular with the money he had, rather than trying to actually improve and or make an electronics company work. I like gaming. I like playing video games. I like sharing those raw experiences with you because that's how I enjoy the game, playing it raw and not faking it for you. But I also love sharing my opinions on that game, my informed opinions later as a review. I do like talking to you every once in a while in a video like I'm doing right now. I enjoy all of these things, all right? I don't want to be a comedian. I don't want to be an entertainer, a cosplayer, a fucking skit maker, a video editor, a fucking, you know what I mean? Anything that these people do, that this is what's popular on YouTube, that's not what I want. And I don't need to be popular on YouTube. I don't care about getting 1 million subs and having people donate the fuck out of everything to me. I don't care about any of that. I just want enough to pay my bills, to have a little life here with my girlfriend Leanna, and to keep sharing my experiences with you daily. That's all I want. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be fucking famous. I don't want the world. I just want something that's a little reasonable. And the bottom line is, for 8 years, I've been able to do that. And I think that it's just a combination of shitty circumstances combined with some really nasty fucking people who are just so mad that I don't follow the YouTube norms and that I may have said a few inflammatory things over the years that really got their goat, and they just want to see me fucking die and burn. And sorry that I don't understand those people, because I've never been of that mentality. There's plenty of people out there that I don't like, that I don't think deserve popularity or fame, but I don't actively seek them out to hurt them, because I am a mature and intelligent fucking adult, and I'm not nuts. That's the bottom line. All I want to do is continue to do YouTube, and I don't want to sacrifice 8 years of something that I put my life into. 8 years of sacrifice. Again, friendships broken. People I don't even talk to anymore, who I used to be close friends with, gone because of YouTube. And I made those sacrifices building a legacy. I want to stand by that. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to be that true to form person who said, I made it and I could still do this as a job because I stuck to my guns and I found creative ways to avoid the fact that, yeah, 95% of people who watch gaming on YouTube are fucking idiots and they want to go see these stupid fake videos that are paid advertisements rather than actually see someone who does something real and worthwhile. I still want to be able to do that, and I don't know. I mean, I'm being so threatened by what's going on right now. So, to end this, if you really do want to help, number one, keep watching the videos. Number two, please like the videos. I know I never used to say that before, but liking the videos helps. Number three, please consider pledging to my Patreon, patreon.com/DarksidePhil. For as little as $1 a month, it actually helps me. You'd be surprised. With the amount of people now that have pledged $1 a month, it's going to help. And if I can get even more, maybe I don't have to worry about this shit anymore, okay? Please, give me suggestions. I need better perks for Patreon to get more people to pledge. I need a suggestion. What should I do about the streaming and the videos? Like, what do I do? Because when YouTube is telling me everything I'm doing in their statistics, in their analytics, you're great, better engagement, more likes, more shares, everything you're doing is in the green, good, and I'm not making as much money, it's something wrong here. There's a disconnect. And without sacrificing my entire business of what I do and losing my own fucking self-respect, I want to be able to still make a living. How do I do it? I need your help. I need suggestions, and I know some people are going to watch this video and just say it's more of Phil being a pig-headed, stubborn asshole who won't change, and you know what? I will never change the minds of some people. Some people will just say, you know what? A lot of other people don't do it anymore or change, but Phil's still here and he still does it the same way, and how does he expect to be popular? Maybe because it's on principle. Maybe because I think that what I'm doing is good. All the message I've gotten from people over the years saying that what I do is so meaningful to them, and that they can, get not only information and quality and meaning out of what I do, but also that there's days when they just watch my stuff and it allows them to feel better about themselves. And some of the heartfelt stuff I've heard from people. 8 years is a long fucking time in my life. I'm only 34 years old. So, about quarter of my life has been on YouTube at this point, and it means a lot, okay, to keep being able to do this. So I need help, and I need to know what it is that I should be doing, and obviously making a video like this to explain the situation and appeal to you is the best way to go about it. All right, everyone. I now need to go work on other stuff like my reviews and stuff. I literally am now 20 minutes over when I should have been working on a review to make this video. But I hope now you realize how serious the situation is, okay? And the last thing that I need to end this, because, you know, well, Phil shouldn't have done this and shouldn't have moved, shouldn't have spent, shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's the past. Now I need to know what to do moving forward, not what I should have done 2, 3. Yeah, if I had known stuff like this would have happened, people would have been so fucking nasty to me and hurt me so badly last year with those copyright strikes and, you know, things like would have turned out. Yeah, I would have spent less money. I would not have furnished the house the way I did, and I probably maybe would have got cheaper. I don't know. Too late for that. Now, that's in the past. That's fucking dust in the wind. Now it's time to focus on the positive and the present and what can I do now to get people motivated to pledge to Patreon, to watch the videos, to get stuff going again. Because getting YouTube videos in YouTube search ain't going to happen. Going to Twitch ain't gonna happen, and I don't want to change my entire fucking business model just to make money and keep doing this, but what can I do then? Alright. Thank you for listening. I hope this video explained everything. Hopefully in a month's time, if I'll make another follow-up video like this for you, it'll be good news. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Thanks to those who pledged, and thank you to those who are thinking of pledging. Thank you to those who are watching my videos, whether you're a new person watching, you're a person who's been here for the past 8+ years. I appreciate it. And hopefully, we can keep this going. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm off. See you soon.